Well, what would a UVA football season preview be without an appearance from Ahmad Hawkins, the ball hawk, joining us now? And who better to talk about what the players just talked about, that opening game against Virginia Tech, than Ahmad Hawkins himself? I heard from Nick Howell that said he was asked about the rest of the schedule, and he was like, I don't care. I just want to beat Virginia Tech. That's the game ahead of them right now, and all their focus has been on that. They're not mincing words, just like they would at the end of the season when they have that Tech week. It's been Tech month now. How much different is that for the players and for the coaching staff, just as far as preparation for them?
I think it's a huge advantage in the sense that you really get to focus on your rival versus giving the PC answers of one game at a time, 1 week at a time, even though we know what's important. That's beating Virginia Tech is, outside of their locker room. It's a part of one of the bricks. So everybody understands the importance of beating Virginia Tech. And now you put a lot of onus on it because it's your opening game. And it's been a long time since we won down there in Blacksburg. So there's a lot of streaks that you have to stop when you're playing against Virginia Tech, and winning on the road down there in Blacksburg is another one we have to complete. And I love it. I love that the focus is there. I love that the hunger is there. I love that there aren't, mincing words, because so many times you're afraid of the bulletin board material, but you got to perform regardless. So if you want to give out bulletin board material, maybe that just make you focus that much more and make you that much hungry on game day.
Well, they broke the streak last year, so that has to help a little bit as far as their nerves going into this game. And a lot of nerves probably for their starting quarterback, Brennan Armstrong. We're going to talk a lot more about him coming up later in the show, but thanks, BallHawk. We'll be back with him in just a little bit. All right, I'm joined again by Ahmad Hawkins, the BallHawk, and now we're going to move on to the offensive side of the ball. We just heard about Brennan Armstrong. He is the new QB1 for UVA. Big shoes to fill, obviously, with Bryce Perkins leaving. He's been so much of the offense over the past 2 seasons. Ahmad, what are you expecting from Brennan Armstrong, especially with a tough game to start up the season, another tough one after that against Clemson? It just seems like the tough games keep rolling on. What do you expect from this redshirt sophomore quarterback? He's had a couple years of experience now behind Bryce Perkins, but now it's all on him.
Yeah, I think you said a key word. He's had a couple of years in this offense, so he understands the offense. He understands the nuances. He understands the reads, and that's a great thing about Brennan Armstrong, is that here's a kid that is going to take the first available receiver, and he's going to get the ball out of his hands. He's not going to try to play hero ball. He understands that Bryce Perkins has his own shoes. Everybody's had, majority of the people in this world have different shoe sizes, so you can never fill somebody else's shoes, because we're all different. And he understands what he does, what he brings to the table, and what he brings to his offense. And I think as long as he plays this game, he will be successful. I love the way he throws the football. I love his deep ball accuracy. And I just love his decision making. And I really believe that he's going to be successful.
With a guy like that, you're going to need some weapons around him. They lost Joe Reed. They lost Assis Dubois. They also lost their tight end, Tanner Cowley. What do you think of this position group, these skill position players, the receivers right now? They're down Dontavian Wicks. They're down Mike Hollins. What do you think of these skill position guys right now, and as far as how can they step up to help lead this offense this year?
We still have a dynamic return receiver in Terrell Janner, and what he showed last year, making huge catches for us, huge strides. Billy Kemp demonstrated flashes, and late in the season he came on strong, and he was like a matchup nightmare in the slot. We still have TK, our fastest receiver, just trying to get him in space and then get the ball to him down the field. And we're just looking for other guys to step up. Like you said, we lost Wicks, but we have some playmakers that are chomping at the bit to demonstrate that they can play on the ACC level and become household names.
Yes, we still have Ahmad Hawkins, the ball hawk, here with us. Now we're going to flip it to the other side, the defense. We just talked to Mandy Alonso. Now we're going to talk to Ahmad Hawkins about what this defense really can bring this year. Ahmad, I want to go back to, when I was a child, watching this UVA team, the Al Groh teams, the 3-4 defense and that linebacker core. That's kind of what this year reminds me of, maybe a little bit more of the athleticism with guys like Noah Taylor and Charles Snowden. But you look back then, you had a pretty good linebacking core, Daryl Blackstock, guys like Ahmad Brooks, some of those guys. So how do these linebacker cores compare, and what advantage does that give UVA this year to have those guys on that side of the ball?
Man, that core is one of the best core that ever came to this university, with Ahmad and Kai Blackstock. Man, that's crazy. And Dennis Haley. So all those guys went pro too. So that just lets you know how special they were. But this linebacking crew can be special as well. Those guys on the outside, they're avatars. You got Noah Taylor and you got Charles Snowden. I call them No Snow. And, 6'5", 6'7", respectively, can pass rush. Noah Taylor demonstrated versus Virginia Tech. He can be like Simmons was for Clemson and playing safety, playing linebacker, playing that rover. And then you got Zane Zandier, ZZ Stop, who just hits everything that moves. And Nick Jackson steps in for where Jordan Mack left. And this kid is phenomenal. Like his football IQ, his ability to dissect formations and just shoot the gaps. We have Snyder, we have Gam, so we have depth as well.
Now, we won't sell the defensive line short either. They've got some guys coming back, Richard Burney, Mandy Alonzo, who we just talked to. Jawan Briggs is expected to have a breakout year, but they are losing Aaron Famui, who's opting out of this season. So overall, as the defensive package, what do you predict for this defense this year? What can they do to raise their game from that level that they had last year?
The main thing is just health. Just stay healthy. You talked about Bryce Hall and Brent Nelson. Brent Nelson returns. We have a lot of depth, but you want to see guys stay healthy. That way you could do a lot more things defensively. You could be a lot more exotic and move guys around because they're so versatile. So I think the main thing for us to take that next step is to continue to generate more turnovers and getting off the field on third down. I know that's cliche, but I think anytime you can generate more possessions for a young quarterback and Brennan Armstrong, the better.